And also to give us more perspective in terms of how things, of course, are playing out at this moment in West Asia, we're joined by Mr. Edward P. Joseph, who's a senior fellow at the Johns Hopkins University and is joining us live on this broadcast. Mr. Joseph, let me start off by asking you, at this moment, there's a lot of rhetoric that is doing the rounds in West Asia. We've heard about what the Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has said, that because of the fact of, the Israelis carried out the attack on the 26th of October, the Americans have also moved more of their military assets to the region to support the state of Israel. Now the Iranians are saying that they have the right to retaliate. What's your reading on this situation?
Mohammed, first, good to be with you and your viewers. And my reading is that we have to understand what are Iranian intentions and what are Iranian anxieties. Because at this moment, Iran is in a very precarious position. As your report mentioned, on October 1st, Iran launched missiles, almost 200 ballistic missiles into Israel. None really inflicted serious damage, although one Palestinian was killed in the town of Jericho. Just recently, continuing some rockets from Lebanon hit in the town of Tira, an Arab majority town. So far, the only damage that these recent cases have inflicted have been, ironically, on Arabs, on Palestinians. For Iran, this is really quite precarious because Israel's retaliatory response on the 26th of October, following that barrage by Iran on the 1st of October, exposed Iran's vulnerability and, in addition, made Iran more vulnerable. I would almost use the word naked because the Israeli jets flying some 1,000 miles from Israel were able to proceed with impunity in Iranian airspace and also from Iraq. And what they achieved there were military objectives. There were no civilian sites hit. They took out the advanced Russian missile defense systems. Those were the S-300. They took out the remaining ones of those. And they also hit in Parchin a key installation for producing rocket motors. So what that means is both Iran's defense is weakened and potentially its offense is weakened. So we have to consider that Iran is concerned about appearing weak and that the Supreme Leader is also concerned about appearing weak. But if they go forward here, Mohammed, they're risking a lot. Please.
All right. Indeed. Now, the 26th of October attack, a lot of people would in fact say that Israel also demonstrated that if it wants to attack military facilities only, it can do so without harming civilians as well. But the question that I want to ask you is about the American politics at this moment that is dominating. Donald Trump, who is the Republican candidate, has put out a specific tweet saying that if he is elected, then he'll stop the war in West Asia. He specifically mentioned Lebanon, saying that he'll stop the destruction and the suffering there. And he's also gone on to say that if he were the president, this war would not have happened. What is your reading of what could happen if Donald Trump were to get elected in West Asia? Will these wars end?
Well, first of all, I have to say, anyone who takes Donald Trump at his word in this sense, in terms of a boast, when he makes certain threats against domestic enemies here in the United States, they are to be taken seriously because he's very vindictive and doesn't care about rule of law. But where he makes boasts, I'm going to end the war, I don't know why anyone would take such a remark seriously. So we have to look at the record of Donald Trump here, and we also have to look at the record of Iran. It's actually quite complicated. First, Donald Trump is the one who walked out of the nuclear agreement that Barack Obama had done. He walked out of it and he put on sanctions, and as a result, Iran accelerated its nuclear weapons program. That's number one. On the other side, don't forget here, there are allegations that Iran has some type of assassination plot against Donald Trump. And let's remember, he's been twice now here in the United States, had one very close assassination attempt and one only imagine what effect that knowledge has. So I just cannot take seriously a boast that he makes about some policy that he's going to somehow
Mr. Joseph, just to cut Donald Trump some slack, the fact that he was the president from 2016 till 2020, in the last 3 decades, perhaps he was the only American president who did not take the United States of America into another active war. That's perhaps to his credit. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Edward P. Joseph, for joining us and getting us that perspective there.
More to say. Thank you. You're welcome.